Found out is that in 2017, every damn woman still has a story.
Yeah.
And we got to change that. We have to all agree that we're going to stand up and say we're not taking this anymore.
Gretchen Carlson, former Fox News anchor at the Women in the World Summit this morning, talking about every woman having a story of harassment or assault. Carlson says thousands of women have reached out to her since she filed that suit against former Fox News chief Roger Ailes. It all comes, of course, as advertisers are pulling ads off of Bill O'Reilly's Fox News program after the New York Times reported that Fox News and at times the host himself had paid $13 million to settle accusations that O'Reilly harassed 5 former employees. O'Reilly has said those accusations were without merit. Also at the summit, our own Stephanie Ruhle and Nancy Erica Smith. Nancy is president and founder of the law firm Smith Mullen. She also represents former Fox anchor Gretchen Carlson, who we just saw, and Julie Roginski, who has a pending lawsuit against Fox News and Roger Ailes. Also with us, Terry O'Neill, president of the National Organization for Women. I love that we have 3 really powerful women to talk to. Nancy, let me start with you. You had very strong words today for the President of the United States.
Yes.
Why are you so angry?
Because he wasn't in the room when it happened, and how dare he call these victims of sexual harassment liars. That empowers every harasser out there. It empowers every troll out there. Women are tired of being silenced. It's another way to silence us when we're abused. Call us liars, call us sluts, call us nuts, call us money grubbers, gold diggers. This is all a way that they shut us up when they do the wrong thing.
Kate, in workplace harassment, there are so many situations where women don't come forward because they feel like it's not big enough. They're not going to believe me. What if I lose my job? And by the president, the leader of the free world yesterday, standing up and without knowing the facts, siding with Bill O'Reilly, that says to so many of those women, you know what? Maybe I don't have a voice. You know, it's something you think you would see in one of those workplace harassment videos, like here's what not
Training
to do.
videos.
Right. Yes.
Terry, we heard Gretchen, that I love the quote that we just played from Gretchen, where she said, every damn woman still has a story. I have a story. I bet you guys have stories. We all have stories. Is she dead on with that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's not just women. Look, every time you hear about sexual harassment in an organization, you're very often also going to find racial harassment if you scratch the surface. And guess what? That's exactly what's going on at Fox News. They now have 3 women, African-American women, suing the organization for, if you look at their allegations, it is racial harassment along the same lines as the sexual harassment that Bill O'Reilly is alleged to have done. So they go hand in hand, and we need to we really need to look at the culture at Fox News and at other organizations where powerful men and powerful women see no consequences for their bad actions. And that is what creates a culture of harassment that we really need to eliminate.
You know, President Trump standing up and thinking, you know, I'm going to speak up for my friend, could actually hurt Bill O'Reilly more. For the advertisers, for 40 advertisers to say, hold on a second, corporate culture is so important. The advertising industry traditionally are the ones that get blamed for the objectification of women based on the images they show, and they've done so much research on it. You now see them making choices about the roles women play in ads, the images they use, for them to stand up and say, I get it, your viewership is huge, but our ad dollars are what matter most.
And by the way, who buys the products,
Exactly.
right?
Women.
Exactly. Every woman should talk with their pocketbook.
One of you said, I think it was you, Nancy, who said that you don't need to call HR.
Right.
If harassment's happening in the workplace. Why do you say that?
Well, as I said this morning, would you call the KGB if you had a complaint about Putin? HR is not your friend. HR is going to set you up. HR is going to help the harasser. It's almost never that the harasser leaves and the woman stays. It's almost never that HR fixes it.
So who do you call? Who do you
call?
tell?
A lawyer. You find out whether you're in a state where you can tape record. In many states, you can actually go to jail for tape recording your harasser have a conversation with you. Not New York, not New Jersey. but you need to call a lawyer. Also, we have different laws in every state regarding harassment and discrimination, which is also awful.
Right.
And the federal law has been chipped away at by federal judges.
Stephanie, Gretchen Carlson said this morning that she can't talk publicly about her settlement, and part of that has to do, I think, with what she signed, the contract that she signed. We're talking about
non-disclosures, which is what you see so often when people sign settlements. But the fact that this has come out, even that we know that there's this number, has people saying, what's going on inside that company? When you think about leadership, leaders in 2017 are called upon to be thoughtful, to be considerate. This is a time of conscious capitalism. People care about it. And so when all of this attention is raised, it really puts a company like Fox in a situation.
Yeah, they also talked about the arbitration clauses this morning, right? And you can,
well, it's
your
another way
hands
to shut
can get
us
tied.
up. It's another way to confidentiality clauses shut us up, and arbitration is much worse even than confidentiality. Arbitration is a way to take away your 7th Amendment right to a public jury.
Terry, I want to ask you lastly, this morning my daughter called me. I was going to be on the Today Show telling the story of Bill O'Reilly, and I felt like I didn't want to tell my 11-year-old exactly what the story was. How do we talk to our girls, to women? How do we, how do we change things?
Well, I think we do have to be honest. We don't have to be as explicit as perhaps to describe some of the really most disgusting things that Bill O'Reilly is said to have done. But, what we really need to do, I think, is have a thoroughgoing, independent investigation of Fox News and other organizations that have these kinds of allegations against them. What is alleged about Fox News, both on the racial harassment and on the sexual harassment side, is a violation of New York City law. It is a violation of New York State law. And I think what we tell our daughters is there are protections in place, and we can have an independent investigation by government agencies. That's what they exist for. That's why we have them in place. And by the way, I think we really need to change the law to outlaw these gag rules that go along with settlements. And they are absolutely not appropriate. These are when you have sexual harassment in the workplace, that needs to get out, especially with an organization as large and influential as Fox News. Fox News has put itself into the ideological and the electoral debates of our country. They are affected with the public interest. The public has a right to know exactly what's going on. We need to have the New York City authorities and the New York State authorities doing a complete investigation and reporting back to the public.
And Terry, I know that you've actually called for Bill O'Reilly to be taken off the air at Fox News. I should just note before I let you ladies go that Bill O'Reilly has not addressed the allegations against him on air. His only response posted online on Saturday says in part, "I'm vulnerable to lawsuits from individuals who want me to pay them to avoid negative publicity." Nancy Erica Smith, Terry O'Neill, Stephanie Rule, great conversation. Thanks.